Solomon Northup is an expert player on the violin.
I was born a free man, lived with my family in New York.
Be good for your mother.
Until the day I was deceived.
To Solomon.
Kidnapped, sold into slavery.
A true story.
True story.
Did you know it beforehand?
I'd never heard of him, and I'd never heard of either Solomon Northup or the kidnappings in the north that would happen.
Well, boy, how you feel now?
My name is Solomon Northup. I'm a free man, and you have no right whatsoever to detain me.
You're no free man. You're nothing but a Georgia runaway.
Did you jump at the role?
No, I mean, it was. It took me a moment to sort of figure out.
How long was your moment?
It was a day or so. You know, it wasn't a long time, but I did need to try and work out. You know, when I read the script, I thought that it was an extraordinary story, but I did feel the weight of it. You know, and I felt the kind of responsibility of it.
Were those sort of philosophical or moral or technical questions?
I think, well, they were just. I think they were ability questions, actually. You know, I just didn't want to be the guy that messed it up. You know,
how did you tackle such an epic story?
We had a bit of time to get down to Louisiana, and then when we were in Louisiana, then it was a question of getting to know the plantations, not only the plantations that Solomon was on, but other plantations. You know, what might have been happening around the time, other things, what were the stories on the wind. And figuring out the differences, the real practical differences between picking cotton, cutting timber, and cutting sugarcane, and what the different things that does to your body is, and how that would affect you mentally, physically over a period of time, and then very practical things like learning the violin, and just sort of trying to do all those things that sort of pull in the strands of the character and pull in the strands of Solomon's kind of complete journey.
You're down in Louisiana. You're brought up in London. Did you, when you went out in Louisiana, when you went out in New Orleans and you talked to people about what you were doing, was this story still in the soil? Did people still connect with it, or was it as kind of as fresh to them as it was to you? Not necessarily sort of Solomon's story, but the broader story of slavery in the South.
There are places which really do have a rich investment still to what happened there, whereas there are places and plantations that are turned into museums, for example, and you can go to the slave huts, you can talk to people who are the descendants of the plantation owners in the times of slavery. And then there's other places in Louisiana which seem very removed from all of that, and almost as if it never happened, and so there's that kind of psychology there as well. But certainly on the plantations, you feel and have a real sense that you're dancing with ghosts, and that everything is still very much alive and present right in the soil.
My soul arise in heaven, Lord, for the year when Jordan rose. Hallelujah, rose Jordan rose, rose Jordan rose. My soul arise in heaven, Lord, for the year when Jordan rose. Hallelujah.
But for you personally, as an actor, maybe even emotionally as a human being, what were the hardest scenes, or the most memorable scenes, or the scenes that touched you most in the film?
I didn't feel that it was a burden, what I mean? I felt that in the sequences that are the more complicated, the physically uncomfortable, what I felt was a deeper connection to Solomon and to what he went through, and the closer I could find that, the more, I guess in a way, you're always trying to legitimize yourself in the process of telling somebody else's story, especially somebody who went through something quite as complex and as difficult as this. So you almost want to give yourself the right to tell somebody else's story in that way. And so when things are kind of uncomfortable or difficult, or what somebody could ostensibly say, that must have been hard for Chiwetel or something, what I'd probably be going through in that moment is actually something slightly different. I'd be feeling more like this must feel or be a fraction of, a tiny fraction of what this must have felt like. Therefore, I feel more legitimate in telling this story. Great
Performance, highly likely you'll be shortlisted or get an Oscar nomination for it. Similarly, your mate Idris Elba played Mandela. Another staggeringly good performance, actually. He also could get shortlisted.
Sure.
How does that feel?
I spoke to her just the other day. It's really amazing, I think, and it's really great. And I'm really, I'm really excited about the prospect of all of that, and just that you know, that we were talking on the phone, and we were just saying that it's amazing that sometimes we forget that film and cinema has this power to move and engage the spirit, the heart, in such a kind of profound way, and that somehow telling the stories of these kind of remarkable people have given us a lot in terms of our personal lives. And it's also been an amazing way of communicating certain ideas out there that people seem to be embracing, and that's just been a very special thing to do, and it's a very special thing to go through with somebody that, you know, you've known for 20 years or so. You know, we started our careers basically on the same day. You know, we were both auditioning for Amistad when we were 19. For
Spielberg.
Yeah, that's right. And that was, you know, 98 or 97 or something like that.
Who's going to get the Oscar?
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? You know, it's been such an incredible journey that I mean, whatever happens now, kind of regardless of all that, it's been an extraordinary time to go on, and with films that I'm, you know, deeply proud of.
Chiwetel, thank you very much indeed. Great stuff. Cheers, man.
Thank you.